Hi, I'm Scott Goldfine, Editor-in-Chief and Associate Publisher of Security Sales and Integration. I'm delighted to have with me today Ben Hedenberg, U.S. Sales Director for simPRO. He's here to talk about key integrator software trends for security pros. Ben, thank you for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me. Thrilled to be here.
Excellent. Let's jump right in. So, obviously there are plenty of options out there in terms of software for integrators, but can you talk to us about what type of solution is most likely to provide a security pro with a great benefit and return on investment?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of solutions out there for sure, but a lot of them are just piece rate. They'll do a little bit of this, they'll do a little bit of that. And that can be really difficult to figure out how to run your whole business when you're changing from one system to another to another. You really need, I know it's a bit of a cliche, but that whole end-to-end system. So something from a lead coming in to managing your customers, to running service, to doing projects being a really big differentiator for what we do specifically. You have to have a system that really runs you through the whole system and not have to pivot from one system to another system to another system. So when I've worked with security companies, what I've seen is a lot of them, they're doing a lot of paperwork. They're doing a lot of things in the back office. They're repeating work over and over again. Like one person has to do something and somebody else has to do something and they follow up in a different way. And they have an Excel spreadsheet that has something. What simPRO offers and hopefully what they need is something that helps them run from end to end, from birth to grave until it pushes to that accounting system. And when I spent a lot of time working with lean manufacturing in my previous life. And one of the big things that they talk about is not redoing work, because I hate redoing work. And contractors need to make sure they have a system that helps them do all of their work one time and not 4 times or 7 times or 10 times, because they need to make sure that they're getting the most out of the labor in the field and then office both. And finding good people is really, really hard right now. So the software should really allow you to get the most out of the people that you have, gain efficiency, and make sure that they're using their time effectively. So they're not being pulled in 10 different directions. There's some studies that show that if you have to be pulled, even if it's just a 10 or 15-minute task, that if you get pulled off from what you're doing and sidelined by another task and then another task, a 15-minute task can actually take up to a whole hour, just because the ramp time up, ramp time down. So we do everything we can to drive that efficiency, so they're getting most out of everybody, again, in the field, which is a really important piece. So there's proper documentation, but then in the office as well, to make sure that the people in the office are, well, frankly, they're the ones who really run the show a lot of times. They're the ones who are, I don't know, they really keep things on track and make sure that everything's done the way it's supposed to. All the I's are dots and the T's are crossed, particularly in the security business. It's incredibly important. So you need to make sure that everybody is doing everything they can to be efficient as possible.
I think that also improves morale too. Everyone wants to feel like they're being effective and have the best tools to do that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. If you feel like you're wasting your time and you're not, repetitive tasks are awful, right? So if you have to do repetitive tasks that are non-value added, it kills your morale. And then people either lose the drive to do more, or unfortunately, sometimes they go other places too.
Mm-hmm. So Ben, what about some tips? Can you share some thoughts that you might have on how integrators can win more business? It's so competitive out there. What do you see?
Yeah, the great thing about integrators is you have the choice of being what size you want to be, right? You can be a smaller company, you can be a bigger company. You have to create your own brand and make sure that what you do shows the level of excellence of the work you do as well. There's a lot of softwares that will make you look generic and everybody looks exactly the same. You need to have the ability to specialize your invoices to make sure that your communication is as clean and crisp as possible, that you're billing everything correctly the first time. And that could be a smaller company that is growing and trying to get to do more, or it can be a really big company. I've worked with really big companies that their processes are just a little broken. So things fall through the cracks all the time. So you need to make sure you have a software that, one, makes it customizable to what your needs are, to how you want to run your business, and 2, that it represents you in an appropriate way, to make sure that your invoices really look like professional, high quality invoices that really represent who you and your company are, that they're correct every time, that the billing is done quickly and efficiently, that it makes it easy to do payment, to make you look like the most professional company that you possibly can be, and to deliver the best customer service that's available out there. We've all been spoiled by Amazon and Domino's Pizza. The level of service has gone out of the world in the business to customer side of things, our consumer side of things. And we're seeing that business to business, it's really, people expect a lot more out of business to business interactions than they once did. Paper invoices being sent once a month just isn't going to cut it anymore. They need to make sure that it's smooth and clean and that they have exactly what the customer expects, just like the consumer side.
Absolutely. And Ben, can you speak to some solutions that simPRO has more specifically in terms of how it can help these companies differentiate and be successful?
Sure. So like I was talking about, yeah, simPRO is very focused on the integrator space, specifically in alarm and security. We do a lot with the customization to make sure that you can run your business the way you want to run your business. So there's a lot of people who have processes, workflows that they put in place. And a lot of it is being done now by people. So you have, let's say, a lead comes in, somebody's interested in doing business with you. You want to be able to send them an email right away to let them know that that you've scheduled some time with them. You want to give a proposal that is customized to what their specific needs are. You need to have pre-built built in place, so you know exactly, if I'm putting in this camera, I have this wiring along with it, I have this, I have everything set up. So you can make that repeatable to make sure that things don't slip through the cracks. And then you can have workflows set up for emails, texts. You can have very specific people go to jobs. If you have a favorite installer that needs to go and do work on it every time, you have that ability. Really have the ability to configure your business exactly how you want to run your business, the way that you know works best. So we can really differentiate what we do there. And again, we've talked a lot about making sure that repeatable things, like that things don't fall through the cracks. And I think that's what we do better than anybody. There's a big push for recurring monthly revenue. I think that's the biggest push that's going on out there. And we provide some really great tools to help make sure that's done appropriately, that the work's being done, that the billing is done appropriately. And we're really proud of what we've been able to do with that.
And I think, Ben, when you talk about being more, efficient and effective on a daily basis, it helps build long-term value for the business too.
Yeah, I know it's an old cliche that we talk about, but the best customer you can get is the one that you already have. And what we're seeing is that companies are growing, and they're growing exponentially in the commercial space. And so as they're growing, the best thing you can do is continue to grow with them, to continue to drive their security needs, to make sure that you're taking care of them. And I've seen, there's a lot of consolidation that's happening. And so companies are buying other companies in different places. And it's not only happening in the security industry, but it's happening in retail. It's happening in all these different areas. And if people are really taking care of their customers very well, then it's growing with them. And you're bringing that lifetime value to them by taking care of them. And then it doesn't come to just cost too. Cost is a terrible thing to just compete on. What you really want to do is make sure that you're doing everything correctly, that they can trust you, and make sure that they're safe and secure, because that's ultimately what you're bringing to them. And then you'll grow your business with them, and you're doing it in the right way.
Mm-hmm. Great. And anything else you'd like to add before we close this up?
No, I really do want to thank you for the time. We've put a lot of time and effort in growing in the security space. We've tripled our business with security companies over the last year, just by showing what we do and how a 20-year-old software that was built for electricians, how it's really grown into the security space, and how we update every 2 weeks. We have very customizable software for what your needs are, so you can configure them based on how you want to run your business. I'm really proud of what we're doing, and we really want to grow into this space and help contractors be more successful and do it efficiently and effectively, and to drive happy customers and then happy employees as well.
Excellent. Well, I wish you continued success, and thank you so much for speaking with us today.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
Want to remind viewers to be sure to check out the Integrator Software Deep Dive in the December issue of SSI and also at securitysales.com. For now, make it a safe day.